Good morning, Facebook peeps. It's another day for the realtor question of the day, the video version. I'm going to wait for some people to come on to this before I go into my explanation of how you can take a listing in a state that you are not licensed in. Some of you are cringing at this idea, thinking, oh my God, this can't happen. You can't do this. No, you're not licensed. It's against every rule in the Texas real estate, Florida real estate, National Association of Realtors. Well, bad news, dudes. Actually, it's not bad news. It's good news. There is a way to do this, and I'm going to explain to you how this can happen. If you refer to my realtor question of the day, the question is, have you ever taken a listing in a state that you are not licensed in? My answer to that is yes, and I've been doing it for the last 10 years. Every broker that I've been with knows about it. They've agreed to it. They say yes. Even I had one broker that I was with that promoted it to the other realtors. We had a presentation on it, on how it can happen. So here's the situation. Hello, Bill Jackson. Glad you could join us. Ashley Henson is with us. Joy McKinney. Jonathan Blaney, who's not a realtor, but Jonathan, hey, come join us anyway. So here's how this thing works. Let's just say that, okay, first of all, I need somebody to volunteer on here. Tell me what state you're in. If you're in a state outside of Texas, I need you to respond to this video because I'm going to use you as an example. Anybody? Anybody outside of Texas? Anybody? Come on. Dawn, where are you at? Dawn, Trina, where are you at? Where you is? Where you be? Where you be? Ashley Henson, where are you located? All right, so as we're waiting on people to tell me what state you're in, I'm going to go over how this thing works. Anybody? Ashley, Texas? I need somebody outside of Texas for this demonstration. Anybody? Anybody? Actually, you use Netris, right? N-T-R-I-E-I-S, Netris. Okay, we're waiting. Bill Jackson is in Texas. Dawn, I'm not sure where you're located. Okay, good. Actually uses Netris. Anybody else? Anybody else outside of Texas as we wait on other people to join us? All right, so I'm just going to go ahead. Let's just say that Ashley, even though she is in Texas, is not in Texas. I'm going to pick on you, Ashley, okay? So here's what happens. Ashley has a listing, and she is a realtor in California. So I go to Ashley, who has this listing for $3 million in California. And I say, Ashley, I would like to put your listing on our MLS here in Texas. So Ashley says, okay, let me talk to the seller, make sure it's okay with them. And the seller says, sure, I don't care, more exposure, I'm all over it. So I sign an agreement with Ashley. Ashley gives me permission to market her listing in my MLS. We have a special agreement between the two brokers. My broker agrees to it. Her broker agrees to it. You got to get a permission from the broker for this to happen. Most brokers, once they understand this, will allow it to happen. So me and Ashley have an agreement. I've already got the forms already, where she allows me to post the listing on my MLS as if it were my listing. So listen, I'm going to give you a commission split breakdown on how this works. Ashley goes to the seller and says, hey, I want for you to think about the idea of putting your house on the Dallas MLS to get more exposure with Robert Russell, who's in Texas, who's going to put it on his MLS, and then it'll go out to all his contacts. He's going to promote it. So in the agreement, in the listing agreement, you're going to change the listing agreement, and you're going to put seller authorizes Robert Russell to co-promote this listing, and will pay an additional 1% on the total commission if and only if the buyer or buyer's agent is procured outside the California MLS system. So what that means is, so it's an additional 1%. Let's just say that Ashley gets 6%. She's going to raise the commission from the seller to 7%. And it could be, doesn't have to be 7, it could be 8, it could be 10. I mean, we've done all kind of crazy things. So what happens is Ashley takes 2% as a listing agent. Robert Russell gets 2% as the promoting agent. Buyer's agent still gets 3%. Now, if Robert Russell doesn't bring the buyer's agent or the buyer, Robert Russell gets 0. But Robert Russell is going to put that listing in the Texas MLS. Now you're going, where in the world are you going to put that? Well, if you go look, if you're in the Netris system and you look at area 999, these are listings outside of Texas, still in the United States, that are outside of Texas, and you can put them in the area 999. So for this example, California listing would go in area 999. Let's say that you do the same situation with a listing in Dominican Republic. That would go in area 1000. Keep in mind that you have to get permission from the seller to agree to this additional commission, but it doesn't always have to agree to the additional commission. The listing agent can also take less commission by having it promoted if Robert Russell or the other promoting agent brings the buyer or buyer's agent to the listing. So they could keep it at the same commission that they left it with, but it's just given the opportunity for more exposure in MLS, plus all the feeds that I'm going to send it to, plus my advertising. So why am I bringing this thing up? Because many of you think that because you're licensed in one state, you can't list properties in multiple states. Well, you can't go out and get a listing by yourself in a state that you're not licensed. You can't do that. That is illegal. But you can borrow a listing from another realtor and put it in your MLS if you have permission. Now, there's some MLSs in the United States, because we've dealt with this issue, where they won't allow cooperation of other brokers for multiple listings. Now, I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. But most states will do this. Ashley says, so I'm in Dallas. Would you do this for Houston as well as for more exposure? Of course, because here's why. If you are only in har.com, but you're not in Netris, you can easily do this. So Ashley, what we would do is we would work an agreement between me and you would put the list, you would give me authorization to put your listing in Houston in the Dallas MLS system. And it's going to show up in my MLS and it's going to show up in your MLS. It's double exposure. I only get paid if I bring the buyer or buyer's agent. There's no liability to you. The thing is that I have to put exactly word for word exactly what you put in my MLS. I cannot change any wording at all. So if you have any questions about this, call me and I'll explain this more to you. Now, this all came about 10 years ago. I went to a presentation on international real estate certification, which I have a international real estate certification. The guy that was presenting this, his name is Olivier Mevalak. Him and his mother were making this presentation, and you know, this was like 10 years ago, and I was thinking at that time, I want to get my real estate license in Florida, but I don't want to go take the test because I'm living in Texas. I want to stay real estate in Florida. How can I do this? So Olivier said, he explained this whole system. I said, you don't have to get licensed in Texas. You can list other properties with other realtors' permission in multiple states. So I said, dude, sign me up. And from that moment on, I've been doing this for the last 10 years. One of the listings I got was in the Dominican Republic for 500 acres for $63 million. Now, Why am I bringing this up? Because I'm going to be doing a for sale by owner training March the 23rd with Larry Lee, who's a lender. And I'm going to show you how you can use this of putting listings in multiple states to your advantage when you go to a for sale by owner appointment. I'm going to show you how to do this and how you can make this work for you, because I guarantee you, your competition is not listing properties in multiple states or multiple countries all over the world. Your competition thinks that because they're licensed in the Dallas area, that they can only get listings in the Dallas area. Well, small thinking, not good. Small thinking is not profitable. Why not take a listing in San Antonio? You don't even have to drive there. You don't even have to take pictures. Get with somebody in San Antonio, borrow their listings, work an agreement with them, let them send you the paperwork. You put it on your MLS in Dallas or wherever. You get the pictures from the listing agent. You post it on your MLS and you market it as it was your listing. If you don't sell it, well, you don't sell it. But how do you appear when you're making a listing presentation that you have listings all over the world or all over the state of Texas or Florida or California? I want y'all to keep that in mind, because again, there's so many ways that you can do this business and you don't have to spend a whole lot of money. If you know how to use social media and advertise, you can do this and make a buttload of money. It's crazy what you can do. So keep in mind, again, March 23rd, I'm going to keep promoting this for sale by owner training. It's going to be an all-day event. It's going to be $75 per person. The first 80 people will be allowed. After that, we've got to cut it off. No one else is allowed in. We're going to be posting an invite where you can sign up and pay. You can't pay at the door. This is you got to pay in advance, $75 per person. It's going to be at Salerno's Italian Restaurant in Flower Mound, March the 23rd from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. If you are a vendor and you would like to do a little advertising, your cost is $75. So you can be a part of this. We're only going to allow 3 vendors because we just really don't have more than an adequate enough time for everybody to be able to speak. So if you have any questions for me, if you'd like to be a vendor, call me, 972-679-9029. If you want to find out more about how to list properties outside of the state that you're licensed in, call me, 972-679-9029. Y'all have a great weekend. I will not see you tomorrow or Sunday. Today is Friday. I'm going to be making calls again. Notice it's hat day again today. You like the hat? Like it? So before I hang up here, let's recognize some people who have joined us. I have to do this every time I do this. Tim Allred. Thank you, Tim. I noticed you always comment on my posts. Love you. Mean it. Lorraine, can you message me your number? I can, or you can just write this down. 972-679-9029. Lorraine Piquet, Lorraine, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your last name. Ramon Bermudez. Ramon has joined us again. Thank you again. Teresa Whaley, Vanessa Montiel, let's see, Christina Piolet, Dawn Carpenter, Trina K. Killer, Nancy Sutters, Dawn Carpenter, Bill Jackson, good old Bill, Ashley Henson, Joy McKinney, and of course, Jonathan Blaley. So that's it for me for today, for Friday. Whew, I've gone 14 minutes. I've been rambling on. All right, y'all have a great weekend. We'll talk to you Monday. Go make some money. Go get a listing outside of your state. Try it. What happens? Let me know and I'll send you the forms. Bye-bye now.